Okay, the run. We've got about 10 seconds to the start of the final stage. It's about getting that curved air runner, the assault runner, up to a decent speed and making sure you're at the front of this pack. The only man not running just right now is Jonas Schomburg. He starts off and we are off. There is a rainbow of triathletes, and the quickest turnover there out of anyone is Javier Gomez, one of the shorter athletes. He's going to have to push really hard in this one. We'll head into the World of Zwift in a second to see exactly where we're up to. But such a lot of triathlon talent, and so good to see some racing being brought to you by Super League. And our last stage is the run, the swim and the bike, and we are off in the World of Zwift. This truly is groundbreaking stuff, moving between real and virtual racing. And Donald Hilbrecht, the 27-year-old Dutchman, who is really looking for a mixed team relay Olympic spot alongside Marco van der Stel. They're almost both fighting for the same spot in that mixed team relay team for Tokyo. Is leading this one, or was. Schomburg moving to the front. Murray, Lacour now as well. So Jonas Schomburg has really been controlling things across the course of this last 20 or 30 minutes of racing. Yeah,
and really doing it on the run, which is a big surprise. Like I'm a big fan of Jonas Schomburg. He's remarkable in the swim. When he gets his run going, he's on point. But here at the Arena Games, he's been the standout runner. Whether he's using effectively that stride length, getting that treadmill up to speed a lot quicker than them, but going to the front immediately, sort of like Jess Learmonth did in the women's, and applying the pressure from the onset.
That's right. And Schomburg, his main competitor in this one is on screen right now, Justus Nieschlag. He's on 17 points. He's 2 back from Schomburg, and he'll know that he needs to put 2 men between himself and Jonas Schomburg. Needs to pick up 2 more points. In fact, he only needs 1 man between them, because if they finish equal on points, it's the stage 3 results that will decide the winner. So if he can put 1 man between himself and Jonas Schomburg, if someone else doesn't come from the clouds, then it will be Justus Nieschlag. Otherwise, it will be Schomburg. There is Murray. The only man wearing a cap, always wears the Red Bull cap. Does not miss a trick on that one. That probably is one right there. Don't know how he's done that, but there you go. Behind him, Schomburg and Lacour, Valasa, Gomez, Hilbrecht, Nieschlag, who's 7.6 seconds back. And Brownlee had a very slow start as well on the runner. And you can see what happens. He was in, well, the low 17s Brownlee to start, and he's still down there. When you consider that Lacour's running a 19.2, the gaps are getting very, very big.
He's struggling on the treadmill, Johnny Brownlee. He looks to be moving well, but as you get later into the run, he seems to lose that time. That time's been run out of him. Pierre Lacour got onto that treadmill. They were running together only about 500 metres ago, and he's lost literally, he's losing time as we speak. He's lost another second there.
Still running at a 17, mid-17s, and Murray's up there running at a 19. Valasa's running at 19. Gomez is running at a 19. I mean, like his brother, I suppose he's a toe-striking runner, and
that's fatigue. It could be fatigue. Johnny Brownlee is human. It's fatigue. It's the first race of the season. It could be tough indeed, and he's starting to struggle. But Richard Murray on the front with Pierre Lacour, Vasco Valasa running really well at 3 seconds back from Javier Gomez, who I'm hoping to see move in. I'm a big fan of Javier. I keep saying it. They've just transitioned.
All right, 2 disciplines to go to decide this one. Murray came off the front. Lacour, Valasa, Schomburg. We'll see exactly what happens when they get into the water, because these transitions, they change everything as Gomez runs up to the back of that group. He was 4 seconds back from Murray, but he arrives just about at exactly the same time. And it's all about getting the goggles on, getting the cap on as quick as possible. Nieschlag is quite a long way down on Schomburg at the moment. We'll see if he can pick it up in the swim. We know he's a great swimmer. He's swum his way to a stage 2 win. But out the front of everyone is Vasco Valasa, and he is absolutely hammering down the pool. Is that Valasa in the red?
That's Valasa in the red, who's improved his swim, as you said earlier. Usually be going backwards in the swim. We saw that in Malta. He's great on feet, but his own lane, he seems to have found his rhythm in the swim a lot better than he has in those real races.
He won the silver in the Junior ITU Grand Final, where it was held right here in Rotterdam in 2017. He was in Jersey on debut last year, Vasco Velasa. He got eliminated early. He came up to you, Chris McCormack, and said, I'm better than that. Give me a shot in Malta. And I don't know how late of the night it was, but obviously you relented and said, yeah, no worries. And he came and put himself in the top 10. So Vasco Velasa again announcing himself.
Look, he's chasing him down.
Yeah, he's been chased down, actually.
Javier Gomez chasing him down.
Opposite ends of their career. I think there's 17 years between them. Harvey's still got plenty to go, there's no doubt about that, but 20 years old, Vasco Velasa, and he is really putting in the big ones to try and stay in front. 3 seconds it stands at the moment. And I just wanted you to imagine for a second, obviously there's hardly anyone, thanks to coronavirus, in this arena, but imagine this exact format with packed. 4,000 or 5,000 people in a packed arena and the kind of noise it would be putting on. We hope we can bring that to you sometime in the future. It's certainly a format that has some legs, there's no doubt about that, as Velasa looks like he's had his lead pretty much eaten away by Gomez, Lacour and Schomburg.
This is an important swim for Schomburg. This is to win the overall with Justus Nischlag being left behind after that run. Schomburg needs to get that gap and keep that group of 4 away on the bike.
The other man that could figure here as well is Pierre Lacour. Now, he's 5 points back on Schomburg. He's only 3 points back on Nischlag, and he currently is sitting in 4th position. Nischlag's further back. Brownlee's on 14 points. He has now moved, well, he hasn't actually moved up as opposed to what you can see on the timing. He's a little bit further back than that. But Velasa will get out of the water, and we now have one 4-kilometre bike to finish this thing off. And Velasa, currently sitting in 5th position on 12 points, will move up maybe into a podium position if he can finish this off. Gomez just 1 second back. Schomburg, Lacour, Nischlag, Knabel, Murray, Van der Stel.
Massive swim by Nischlag. That was a huge swim by Nischlag to pull back the time he lost on that run and put himself in that group, to keep himself in that potential to win the overalls.
3.9 kilometres to go in the Super League Triathlon Arena Games. We have moved heaven and earth to put this racing on for you. Our team is spread across 5 different countries, bringing it to you in a virtual world as well. And Vasco Velasa at 6.5 watts a kilogram is doing everything he can to stay away from Javier Gomez. Gomez in 6th position overall right now. Velasa in 5th position overall, just 1 point between them, and there's daylight between the pair of them and everybody else. Great transitions from them as Nischlag now moves up into 3rd position ahead of Schomburg. He needs to put another man between him and Jonas Schomburg. And is that going to be Pierre Lacour? It's not going to be Jonathan Brownlee. You wouldn't think it's 17 seconds adrift. Schomburg needs to make sure he is next to Justus Nischlag, if not in front of him.
Well, if they finish the way they are, Lacour, Velasa and Nischlag will all finish on 22 points. So it'll be a dead tie, for a 3-way tie for second.
Wow, your maths is actually outstanding. I don't know how you're doing that.
Javier Gomez got up onto Vasco Velasa's wheel. That's the spot to be. They got 7 seconds on Nischlag. They can sort out between 1st and 2nd in the overall.
Well, Gomez will move up to 21 points if he can win this, and that will rocket him up the leaderboard from 6th. There's Nischlag and Schomburg together, and no one around them. Lacour needs to figure in this one, or they need to catch Gomez and Velasa if Nischlag's going to have any hope of stopping Jonas Schomburg, and Schomburg will know that. He needs to keep himself and Nischlag away from Pierre Lacour, and at the moment it's 4.5 seconds. And Lacour, don't forget, has Van der Stel and Brownlee and Murray with him. In fact, the whole rest of the field is in a group together and will get extra draft from that.
And look at Jonas Schomburg opting to sit on Justus Nischlag's wheel. He's just gone around him then. He sat on there for 500 metres, which is probably the smart thing to do. You need to make sure that gap opens up. You stay away. Gomez and that are gone. I think at 11 seconds they're gone. It's between 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th on splitting those points to win the overall.
It looks like could Murray, Van der Stel, Lacour, Brownlee, etc. catch up to this lot, and if they do catch up to Schomburg and Nischlag, it's anyone's victory. Schomburg needs to keep these two away. He needs to push as hard as he can. It's down to 4 seconds now between the two Germans, Schomburg and Nischlag. Schomburg, we know he's got such good bike power. The other week he did a 22k uphill bike TT and averaged 382 watts.
I don't know if Nieschlag's aware of this, but if they finish like this, at 3 seconds ahead of Hilbrick, PL, Lecor, Nieschlag needs to slow the pace down and bring other athletes into play. If he wants to win the overall, he needs someone to finish between him and Schomburg.
I don't know. I'm not sure that he'd be aware of that. He needs to make sure. He just needs to drop off and let Schomburg be out there on his own and hopefully get caught late.
Let those gaps close, bring that group back together, bring Johnny Brownlee back into play. 2
seconds it is now, though. It is 2 seconds back, and you think with 1.5 kilometres to go, that's exactly what's going to happen. Velasa and Gomez are having their own special race out the front. The 20-year-old and the 37-year-old are 1.4 kilometres from the finish.
I worked out why Velasa swam so well. He swam without goggles. That's why his transition was so great.
I'm not sure that's...
He swam without goggles. I saw him hit that button without goggles.
Did he have goggles around? Did he lose his goggles?
Maybe.
Because I think if he didn't put his goggles on, that's going to cost him later on for a disqualification. Oh. But if he lost his goggles on diving in, which happens to the best of us, that'll save him.
Yeah. Well, they've all come together.
If he didn't put it in transition, they've all come together now, that group.
14.
No, 16. There's still 2 seconds. Still 2 seconds.
Jonas Schomburg needs to get on the front of that, on the front now, and drive to keep that group away. He does that, he wins the overall.
He wins the overall. But Javier Gomez has, like a fine wine, he's just gotten better throughout the course of this 40 minutes of racing.
Does he sit and sprint? I think he just sits off the back of Vasco Velasa, sprints him, and wins the stage. That's a nice one for the resume for Javier Gomez. You've won everything else. Why not win a Super League race?
Why not win a stage of this? He'll also overtake, well, he'll finish as a tie with Velasa if he does win it, because Velasa's 1 point ahead, but he'll take the position based on the win from the stage. So this is for position between the two of these athletes, but 500 metres to go. We can see the faces of Schomburg and Nieschlag behind them. It's now 1 second gap. They have come together now, so we'll see what happens. Nieschlag needs to finish at least an extra position higher from Schomburg to take the win. Lecor could figure in that as well. Here is the group coming together, 300 metres to go. Look at the face of Jonas Schomburg as he puts up 300 to 400 watts. Now Nieschlag at 400 plus watts as well. Gomez and Velasa are 140 metres from the finish. I'm not sure who's going to take that one.
Sitting off. Look at Jonas Schomburg.
Nieschlag on the front. Velasa pushing 11.1 watts a kilo, and he's taken the win from Gomez at the front. Here is the sprint from the end, and Nieschlag is taking Brownlee with him. It's going to be Nieschlag moving up on the outside. Is Hilbrecht, but I think Nieschlag has done the job. And in fact, Jonas Schomburg finished in 9th position. Nieschlag took 4th position, and I think Nieschlag has taken the win. Lecor was back in 8th, and I think Jonas Schomburg has been pipped at the post by his German compatriot, Justus Nieschlag, who looks absolutely cooked. They all do.
Look at Schomburg, he knows.
Wow. The sprint finish at the end, they were pushing huge wattage. And from the clouds, like he did to become German champ 4 years ago, Justus Nieschlag, I think, has got it hands on heads all round. Same here in the commentary box.
The pain is real. It's esports, but that hurt.
That hurt in real life. It absolutely did.
And that's our winner on screen, I think.
We're going
unofficially.
Unofficially. We're going to get the official results at the end. Vasco Velasa took the win by 0.25 of a second over Javier Gomez in that stage. And there you go, 0.25. Hilbrecht third, Nieschlag, Brownlee, Murray, Van der Stel, and Lecor. And in fact, Gnabel also finished ahead of Schomburg, who dropped right through the pack on that sprint. But it did, like Zwift races do so often, came down to the sprint, both between the top 2 and then the next 8. And what a race to round out a couple of hours of brand new racing, Chris McCormack.
That was a lot of fun to call, a lot of fun to watch. Schomburg, I'm disappointed for him. He was right there with 2 great stages, but Super League racing, you need to deliver across the 3 stages, and those poor point scoring in that last stage may put him off the podium.
Well, I'm not sure that any of these athletes at the moment know exactly what has happened. There's a lot of looking around, a lot of looking at the big screen, waiting to see exactly what happened. And it looks like Nieschlager's finished on 24. He knows it. There's the smile.
Velasa on 22, I think.
Yeah, Velasa finished on 22. And
Gomez, Brownlee, Lacour, Schomburg, all around 19, 20 points. So you got a 4-way tie for third. On countback, I'm just going off countback on what I'm thinking, unofficially.
Unofficially, you're looking at what our stats man who's smarter than you has sent us.
It's unofficially.
It is unofficial. I think Gomez, because he finished in a group on 20 points, will take third because he was highest in the stage race. So I think he'll take third position, Javier Gomez.
There's a slight smile there. I think he knows.
Maybe he's just happy because it's over. Velasa takes second. And you know what? He did that by virtue of that sprint where he hit 11.1 watts a kilo at the back end and out-sprinted Javier Gomez. Despite the fact that Gomez was sitting in with the draft with 500 metres to go, Velasa stayed at the front and kept it all the way through.
Yeah, he's a tenacious little racer. And it would feel amazing. That's Javier Gomez on your wheel. You're a 20-year-old. You've watched Javier Gomez your entire career. You've watched him win Olympic medals. You've watched him win world championships. To have him, to out-sprint him would be amazing. All
right, we're going to have a look now, I think, at the official results overall before we hear from our winner. And I think that is our winner. We'll wait for the results to come through. But Justus Nieschlag is the man. Let's see him at the top of this leaderboard right now. He manages to take enough points to hold off Jonas Schomburg, who drops down to 5th position in that one. Vasco Velasa second, Javier Gomez third, Jonathan Brownlee. There are your top 5. We're going to hear right now from Annie Emerson, who has our winner.
Oh, wow, Justus. I think you needed to see the graphic to actually believe you are an SLT winner. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's amazing. I never thought that I could win here. I haven't raced for more than 1 year, and now my first real race, and it was amazing.
Congratulations, you're a Super League Triathlon winner. Well done, Justus.
Thank you very much.